All right, it's hashtag Transformation Tuesday. Each week we feature an amazing transformation that inspires all of us. Take a listen to my pick for this week.
My name is Heather Hartman. I'm 36 years old and the mother of two. I started my journey in October 2012, weighing in at 287 pounds and 58% body fat. This was the heaviest I had ever found myself. My mother had just been diagnosed with diabetes. I knew that if I didn't do something, I would be following in her footsteps. Being that my sister, Kelly Bonomo, is a fitness nutrition coach, I initially started by implementing the concept of blood sugar stabilization, cutting out alcohol and soda, and making better choices. By February of 2014, I had dropped to 222 pounds and was plateauing. This was when Kelly had shared the announcement of the 8-week run challenge. By the end of the 8-week run, my final weigh-in was 192 pounds, dropping an additional 30.8 pounds, 11.7% body fat, and 20.5 inches. Since May of 2014, I have dropped an additional 9 pounds, bringing my total weight loss to 104 pounds and 15.9% body fat loss. I am not done yet.
Please welcome Heather joining us via Skype. And of course with me here, New York Times best-selling author of Body Confidence, Macdonald. Thank you both for joining us. Heather, what was the up and down weight? You were going up and down a lot. You had the yo-yo dieting situation. Why was that going on?
I had struggled with weight my entire adult life. After I had kids, of course, you gain the baby weight from having kids. Going through a divorce, I gained weight there, and I'd lose it and gain it, and lose it and gain it. And then finally, when I hit my peak, it was 287. I said, enough is enough.
And then your mom has diabetes, right? And that really sort of shook you. Why?
Oh, yeah. Just seeing and knowing people that are diabetic and the side effects of the long term of being diabetic, and knowing that if I didn't change my life, I was headed in that direction.
Right. And diabetes can be really debilitating. Part of your 8-week challenge, right? It's all about sugar stabilization, right?
Definitely. When we talk about blood sugar, that controls your metabolism and your appetite. Every time you skip a meal like a chronic dieter does, their blood sugar drops, they burn muscle, slows down the metabolism, and then that next meal you crave carbs, not protein, you overeat and you store fat. So that's what Heather's challenges were. She was starving herself, then overeating. Once she started understanding eating in threes, every 3 hours, a little bit of protein, fat, carbs, that fueled her metabolism, triggered her fat loss, and that's why she's down 104 pounds.
But Heather, it's hard, right? Isn't it hard to get into that routine, to suddenly completely change your life that way? Like someone's telling you to eat every 3 hours, you're used to like following your own program.
Oh, yeah. And the whole eating every 3 hours, I'm like, whoa, I could get used to this. Like, I'm eating all the time, you know, like, who wouldn't want that?
Yeah.
And then once you get in the habit, I mean, it's not a diet, it's a life change. And once your mind gets in that mindset and you get in the habit of, this is what I need, and you start feeling the change of, I'm feeling like a new person so fast that within 2 weeks, I was blown away at the difference. I'm like, I am never ever going back to the old way.
Yeah. Taylor Swift's song was made for you. Never, ever.
Yeah, I actually sing that quite often. I'm a hairstylist, and I sing it to my clients all the time, and they laugh at me.
And you got a little emotional when you saw your video in the last segment, right? Because it's just, I mean, what's it like to be where you're at now?
Well, I remember very easily how I felt. I was that woman that sat on my recliner and watched TV every night. My kids would sit and be bored because mom never wanted to do anything because I had no energy to do anything. And I never thought that I could be where I am today and be as active as I am with my kids. We've been to Sky Zone in St. Louis, the indoor trampoline park, and love it.
That's so
We're
awesome.
outside. I mean, we do so many activities that never in a million years did I ever think that I would have the energy. I was just, blah. I never wanted to do.
And we're all so proud of you. Mark, you know, a lot of people that are going through this transformation, they hit a plateau. How do you get through that plateau, especially when your eating has to do with emotional eating?
Yeah, well, what Heather did is she cut the soda and the alcohol, and she dropped weight initially. But then you got to get even cleaner. You have to cut your breads, your cheese. You have to start looking at limiting pasta. And then you have to do exactly what she did. Find exercise that works for you and your family so you can be your very best. And when you eat in threes, you don't have the cravings. And that's what empowered her for herself and for her family.
All right, eating in threes, all about activity. Makes you a lot happier, right? Mark Macdonald, Heather Hartman, thank you so much for joining us. We're all so proud of you. Keep up the good work.